They always wait till the last second to tell the public. And the only reason they're doing this now is because they have to. They literally can't run from it anymore because there's so many people researching this and reporting on it. This article is titled, "There Are Still Banks Prone to the Runs That Brought Down SVB and Credit Suisse." Bank runs. They're still prone to bank runs. Of course they are. But why? But why is this coming up now? See, there was a problem recently with a bank or two. And everyone had to take a close examination of uninsured deposits. See, we discuss a lot of things often, and we used to talk about uninsured deposits quite often as well. But everyone looks at the commercial real estate problem. Everyone looks at their dilapidated technologies, a lot of them getting hacked. But uninsured deposits has fallen to the back of the line as far as concerns, but not anymore. Not anymore. So now they're coming out and they're telling everybody, hey, be careful. A lot of them are susceptible to bank runs. And I've been telling people this for a long time as well. I mean, listen, not financial advice. I can't tell you what to do. But I think it's smart to call your banks and check and see like, hey, or just check online, really. What is the percentage of what they hold that is uninsured deposits? That's important. If you want to protect your value, that's important to know. But wait. Okay, so they say that. Wait, this is coming from regulators, by the way. So you know it's serious. You know the point we've gotten to. And this is another reason why the new financial system is going to take over. It's going to take over, folks. Listen, you know how many different ways you can manipulate something like over collateralization, right? So I'm going to paint a picture for you. So the FDIC couldn't save those banks last time. They tried, right? And then they claimed that they were running out of money or they ran out of money. Remember that happened? They didn't have enough to cover if a multitude more of banks went down. They didn't have enough. Look at the budget of was it last year when all those banks went down? It was around the May times, SVB, Silvergate Bank, all of those banks. That's the time period I'm talking about. The FDIC was running on fumes. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? I mean, maybe it doesn't these days because now it just seems like the government has very little money for important things, I would think, and other money for other things that people probably wouldn't want their money going to, their tax dollars going to. But we'll get into that another time. But what I'm saying is they don't have enough to cover all the hundreds upon hundreds of banks that are at risk of collapse, not just because of uninsured deposits. We looked at the real numbers. We looked at the real data, and they're breaking it down by classification. They go by a certain grouping. They give you a certain number for the ones that are seriously at risk. They give you another number for the ones that are at a medium amount of risk or mid risk. So, but then you have to add them all up. All of these are institutions, are banks, financial institutions that could collapse. And you start looking at those numbers and saying to yourself, holy smoke, something's going on here. There definitely is a problem to take a look at. Once again, this is why the new financial system is going to dominate. One reason, just merely one reason, but it's a major reason. Now, back to what I was saying about over collateralization. It's something I see Flare doing. A couple of, blockchains try this, but I think Flare does it very well. I'm just saying it's one I've looked at extensively. With over collateralization, see these banks, then they don't have to only rely on the FDIC. If a problem occurs, but with over collateralization, which I know they will manipulate greatly and change greatly to fit their customized need, they would have extra protection. They could protect themselves. If you know what over collateralization is. If not, you look that up with Flare. Very, very interesting what they're doing. But listen to this. Wait a minute. Let me get a little bit more information here. All right. I hope all you fine folks out there are doing well. All right. I hope you're strong. Know you're strong. You're doing good. In 2024. Now keep in mind, these are the ones at serious risk, not mid risk, and this is only because of uninsured deposits. That's it. This is the small little slice. There's much, much more. There's a bigger piece, which, like I said, we looked at the data in the members only section. You go back about a month ago in videos. You're going to see that information there. But anyway, it says in 2024, a total of 94 U.S. banks. By the way, did you see the members only video from yesterday? Make sure you check that one out. Check that out. I'm telling you. A total of 94 U.S. banks are reported to be at serious risk. They have to make sure to clarify that serious risk of experiencing bank runs due to high ratios of uninsured deposits to total deposits. I want to say also another problem with these banks and why the new financial system, Ripple could take over, or anybody using XRP. Listen, I'm not beyond. You know what? Let me hold that thought. I'm gonna hold that thought. New financial system is going to dominate. Let me continue here. It says that this vulnerability is primarily attributed to potential financial weaknesses that could be exacerbated by exposures to. Oh, they go deep here. I thought they were just going to cover. So that first number is for uninsured deposits, but they also speak on the vulnerabilities that come from commercial real estate, unrealized losses. Oh man, they're cooking. They're exposing the banks. I love it. I love it because we're going to take that bank money. I'm telling you right now, their fall is our rise. We don't need them, but their fall is definitely going to hand a lot of business over to the utility coins. Period. That is my humble opinion. You can disagree, but that's how I feel. All right. Then they name names. Among these banks, notable names include, I hope your banks are not on, if you use banks. I know a lot of people don't. You better hope your bank is not on this list right here. Bank of New York Mellon, State Street Bank, Northern Trust, 73.9%. Really? Citibank, really? Wow. Okay. Wait a minute. Bank of New York Mellon, 100% ratio of uninsured deposit. Wait, no, there's no way. All right, this is what they're saying. Do more research. I'm just saying. I try to get 2 or 3 sources. It's just what they're saying right here. HSBC, JP Morgan Chase, really? U.S. Bank. It's actually interesting the names that are on this list. But like I said, do your own research and verify these numbers. All right. Okay. I'm not the right. Listen. I like to say this. It comes from Scarface. Like, you know, when he said that line, who do I trust? Me? Yeah, trust yourself. Right. So if I didn't write this article, I need to verify the information in here. I'm going to take it into consideration, but I need a second and third source. And then I'll take the average of that to see if this is how true all of this is. But hey, this is what they're saying. And the first article was written on Watcher.guru. Other sources for this information are Daily Hodl, Globest, FAU. It looks like NBC here. Like there's a lot of sources here, a lot of legit sources. Norada real estate. We've covered a lot from them. American Hartford Gold, CNBC. There you go. So now let's move on here. I want to move on here. Okay. We have articles like this coming out. They're telling on themselves. Like I said, once again. Watch that members only video from yesterday, that last members only video. Watch that. Everything is starting to come together, starting to glue together. You need those intricate details. This is my humble opinion. That's how I look at it. So now, this article is titled Tokenization, BIS Innovation Head says private sector needs. I don't know why I was doing this. That's just my natural flow. I'm just naturally letting my hands just go. BIS Innovation Head says private sector needs to embrace change. But even I was like, what the heck am I doing? What is this? I don't know. I'm just talking with my hands. The BIS Innovation Hub lead, Cecilia Kingsley, spoke about the need for the current financial industry. The current financial industry. What have I been saying? Especially in the members only video. What have I been saying? They're literally, every time I say something, they come out and they confirm what I've been saying. She's about to say exactly what I've been saying. She said the current financial industry needs to embrace change. Guess what? They're talking about tokenization here. They're talking about DLT technology here. So they're stalwarts, right? They're moving slowly. They're giving the appearance that they're adopting the technology, but they're really not. And what did I say before? I said, if the legacy system is making the money, then why would they change? And I'm not mad at them about that. I'm mad at them about that. I understand that. It's like, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's, I get that. There's a lot of money being made. Why would I want to take a risk and change that? Right? That makes some sense. That's what they're thinking. This is what I'm telling you. There's a battle going on. That's what slowed everything down. There's a battle. The BIS, this is why you got the BIS, the IMF, the ECB, and the Fed. You know it's serious when the Fed has to come out. It's why the Fed has been coming out and pushing, hey, private sector, hey, adopt these technologies. Hey, DLT. This is what we found. BIS doing even more of that than everyone else. because they want the new financial system deployed just as bad as we do. But there are stalwarts. There are those who don't want to adopt the technology. So now they have to give it extra push. You see how everything is speeding up. All the ones who want to adopt the DLTs and want the new financial system have sped up their experimentation and deployment, a lot of different things. And so they're saying, hey, wait a minute, we have to all do this together. They're giving that extra push. Keep your eyes on this. Remember, BIS, Hong Kong Monetary Authority is all this overlap. Ripple CBDC platform, Stellar. There's a lot of these utility coins. The new financial system is definitely intertwined with them. So pay attention to everything that's going on like this. Let's keep going. It says, it continues. It's one thing if there's a department. Look how she's about to expose them. Listen to this closely. It's one thing if there's a department exploring the possibilities of tokenization, but if the C-suite is happy with the way things currently work because they're making money, that's what I've been saying for years. That inhibits progress. Who is this? Wait a minute. This is the BIS Innovation Hub lead, Cecilia Skingsley. Listen, thank you. Thank you, Miss Skingsley. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. You just confirmed what I've been saying for a long time. Let's keep going. Quote, because the financial infrastructures of today, they are not going to be fit for tomorrow. Ooh. Miss Kingsley, have you been listening to my videos? Like, I swear I've been saying the same thing. So what she's pretty much saying, I'm gonna give you my interpretation is, so she says they are not going to be fit for tomorrow. If they don't update, they won't survive. Haven't I been saying that? Yes, I have. This has been clear as day. I have very, very good deductive reasoning. I've worked on it my whole life. I'm telling you. Some may disagree out there because they have a different thought. That's perfectly fine. But I'm telling you, I have very good deductive reasoning. It's very clear that if they don't update their services, if they don't update their infrastructure, they're finished. They're going to get left behind and cut out. And once the new financial system comes online, they're really doing them a favor by pushing them forward. Once the new financial system comes online and all that money is being made, all that value is flowing, all that power is changing hands, lots of traditional value will switch over, and that money faucet will lessen and lessen. The water, the liquid dripping from that money faucet of the old system will slow down until there is nothing left. So they better get on board. But let's keep going. This is some powerful articles today, in my humble opinion. She believes there are two key requirements for tokenization to work at a global scale. They're telling so much right here. You got to look into this and read between the lines. Global scale. All right. If it's operating at a global scale, what are they talking about? SWIFT does not operate on a global scale anymore. It cannot because of BRICS Nation. BRICS Nation, whatever they're doing with their BRICS Pay, if they're deploying it, not deploying it, there's so much confusion over there. But they made it clear they're de-dollarizing and they don't want to use Western systems. So they also lack global reach. So if we're talking about, how did they phrase it? Wait now. For tokenization to work at a global scale. So if they're talking on a global scale, how do they achieve that? They would need something neutral like the new financial system that can only be provided by neutral entities like Ripple, Stellar, Algorand, Quant, Flare, Chainlink, Solana, Zenfin. Wait, let's keep going. This article gets deep. We actually don't have enough time. I would love to cover this whole thing. Maybe we'll come back and break it down a little bit more. So one is digital identity, of course. Cordell, you want to know something about us, don't you? Yeah. One is digital identity and the other is around regulation. Different jurisdictions are creating their own rules, but there needs to be a mutual regulatory recognition, which will take time. There we go. They all keep saying this. Who told them all to say it's going to take time? Christopher Waller said it's going to take time. The BIS now before said it was going to take time a couple months back. Now we have a new person here speaking saying it's going to take time. The ECB, we read some documents a couple weeks back. They're talking about what's going to take time. Even though they claim it's going to take time, but aren't they pushing their was it retail or wholesale? Is one of their aspects they're pushing heavily right now. I think it's retail they're going to be pushing. I think that was the most recent thing we read. So I don't understand how they're talking about it's going to take time. But I mean, I know it's a little bit more complicating. I'm oversimplifying things. I know that. I understand that. We don't have a lot of time here on the channel, so I can't get too intricate. It says, otherwise, tokenization might just take off in certain regions. Oh, don't tell too much now. So they're recognizing that there could be the power shift. They want control and power. Sound familiar? Watch that members only video. This is why that certain struggle is occurring right now. Oh, you just told us a lot without telling. See, because we read so many documents. The last one that we covered now makes more sense because of reading this. That's how you know we're good detectives. We're looking at all the evidence, and we're keeping it in mind so that when a new piece of evidence comes out, we're gluing it all together to solve the case. Wait, it says, while some, ooh, listen to this. What is going on? They're telling a lot of truth here. What is happening? While some are disappointed with the slow speed of progress of tokenization, I knew it. I knew they were rushing. They're rushing because, they feel like they were taking their time too much. They were working too slow. This all makes perfect sense now. While some are disappointed with the slow speed of progress of tokenization, Ms. Kingsley said she would have been surprised if it had moved faster. Yeah, well, that makes sense given what she just said, because she's looking at that particular aspect that a lot of people weren't looking at. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. The financial sector needs to be humble. Ooh, don't air out too much of your dirty laundry now. So by you saying the financial sector needs to be humble, is you admitting that there are some that are not humble, one. So let's recognize that. Number two, you want them to bow down to your authority. You're saying that they're not humble because they didn't bow down to your authority 2-3 years ago when you told them. I know because I read the documents. We were here. When you told them, hey, and what was the BIS timeline originally? Anybody here an OG from the channel, an original from the channel, day one from the channel, when they were saying 2 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, right? We're approaching that 4 or 5 years now. We're approaching that now, right? That end time goal. But they gave them the timeline. They didn't obey it. That timeline wasn't for us. The timeline was for them. And they didn't obey it. So now they're not humble because they didn't listen to you. Uh-oh. Little trouble in paradise. Don't worry. We will be handing here when you hand over all that value to the new financial system. I promise you. I'm going to be here. I'm long term. Except with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is not a utility. It's not a utility coin. It says, quote, the last time the financial industry got really excited about new technology, it was during the securitization era, unquote. She said, noting, I don't know why I said that. Noting. I don't know why I said it like that. Noting its contribution to the global financial crisis. Hence, it's good to be deliberate. Wait, we're going to stop right there. How much more to this is there? Oh, she goes off. Okay, there's a little bit more. We may come back to this at a later time, but I want to get to this little bit of Chainlink, Bitcoin, and gold news. We're going to close out with that. All right, we got to keep up with everything else as well. So now, this article here is titled Chainlink and Swift's blockchain payment integration hits production ready stage. Is that so? Oh, I'm very bullish on you, Chainlink. Do your thing, Chainlink. Do your thing. Sergey Nazarov, co-founder of Chainlink, confirmed today that the integration of Swift's traditional payment system with blockchain technology has reached a production-ready stage. Tell me, you tell me that's not bullish. It is super bullish. Yeah, I told you. I saw what they're doing. I see what and they're all over the place. Did you see yesterday's video? Was it yesterday? We had 2 Chainlink articles. Then they dropped 2 bombs on us. Then they dropped this one here. Go Chainlink, go. I don't know about everybody else out there. I'm here to make some money. I'm not here to be in love with the technology. It's great technology. No doubt about it. I'm not here to be in love with it. I'm here to make some money. And Chainlink looks like it's setting up for something major. Not financial advice. Nazarov made this crucial revelation. I feel so good today. I don't even know why, folks. I've been eating better, sleeping a little bit better as well. I've been trying new things. I just feel better overall. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. And I hope to stay in this energy too. But, Nazarov made this crucial revelation at the CBOS 2024 conference currently holding at the China National Convention Center in Beijing. This year's CBOS brings together financial services leaders from around the world. Yes, we know that. Tell me about the SWIFT. That's what I want to hear about. I'm here to hear about SWIFT. The event is great. Great job. I want to hear about SWIFT. Chainlink has been collaborating with SWIFT for several years. Several years? What? I could have sworn that they just announced that like maybe a year and a half ago to 2 years ago. Maybe several years. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Chainlink has been collaborating with SWIFT for several years to enable the use of SWIFT messages and standards to seamlessly interact with blockchains. Nazarov highlighted that the once conceptual blockchain integration has now moved to a pre-production stage, allowing institutions to begin real world testing. So once again, it's going to take more time. They're just testing, but at least it's moving forward. We're seeing progress on that. Also, this lets you know instantly they're going to be heavily siloed. It does. They're going to be siloed. They need a connector piece. And yes, I know what Chainlink does, but because they work with SWIFT, it doesn't matter that they can have interoperability. You're going to need extra. And this is why I believe SWIFT said that they would work with like 3 to 4 more. I think I'm paraphrasing, of course. I know it's been some time. Whatever they said there were going to be more DLT companies that they will possibly be working with. I know they can change their minds as well. I know because they're going to need something that has true global reach. What has that? But I hold Chainlink. I hope Chainlink goes absolutely berserk. But yeah, yes, I do. Of course, I'm holding it, and they're doing a good job. If they were doing a bad job, I'd sell Chainlink and get out of there. But they're not. They're doing a good job. The system operates through a pre-settlement phase where traditional SWIFT messages communicate transaction details such as settlement status and intent. Following this, the process shifts to the blockchain, where Chainlink facilitates the conversion of SWIFT messages into on-chain events. You know, another good thing about this is going to bring a lot of other business. A lot of institutions are watching and saying, hey, if they work with SWIFT, then we can work with them. If they're good enough for SWIFT, they're good enough for us. Because SWIFT is at the top of the legacy system, that is. And so, yeah, that could bring in a lot more business. This is very good. Great advertisement. All right. So now a little bit of Bitcoin news. There's a little wee bit of Bitcoin news, of course. All right. There's some good news today. Yeah, this has been a good day, in my humble opinion. Top trader predicts Bitcoin breakout to $100,000 following months of consolidation, but there's a big catch. What's the catch now? Let's hear it. Let's get this update. In a new video update, pseudonymous analyst Don Alt, all right, tells his subscribers that Bitcoin looks set to end its multi-month consolidation phase that started in March. My apologies. There's like sentences. Then there's like a giant ad, and then you got to get past it. Then there's more sentences. So it's a little awkward to read like that. I don't know why the writers are doing that. Money, but yeah, I get it. But Don Alt warns that Bitcoin will likely witness a deep corrective move after a strong breakout surge. Yes, I could believe that. Yes, listen, I'm predicting massive volatility. Not that that's going to stop Bitcoin's upward trajectory. Yes, it's going to go down sometimes. You're going to have pretty good corrections. In my humble opinion, that's possible because selling will be so deep. Once people have made enough, you already see profit being taken by the whales. That long-time whales taking profit. So now, if you take that and you couple that together with all of the regular retail people that are waiting to get to a delicious price, and they're all, let's say it's the possibility, not a guarantee, maybe it doesn't happen, but if they all sell together, you're going to get a significant correction. Sure. But to negate that, once it goes down, if the trend continues where the big companies come in and buy the dip and then it goes back up, I mean, how long does that volatility last is going to be up to you to decide, right? But yeah, sure, that could be, definitely, I agree. There's going to be dips, there's going to be corrections, and could be significant for sure, yeah. But after that, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit for Bitcoin and over the next few years, in my humble opinion. But not without troubles, of course. That's life. Quote, my base case is right now, we're going to break out and it's going to get smacked down. We're going to go to 80,000, 90,000, maybe 100,000. Remember, my upper range is 100,000 to 150,000. 100,000 to 150,000. I've been sticking with that. My low is 80,000. He put both of those numbers here. All right now. So if this breaks out, so we start saying that. I said we, like as if you're teaming up with me or something like that. I'm bringing you in. But I've been saying that since last year. Okay. I've stuck with it. It seems like a lot of people are looking at that range now, right? All right now. It says here, I don't know why I do that. That's just like my new thing. It's like, you know, I watched so many kung fu movies and, you know, when in my youth, and a lot of the grandmasters will always do stuff like that. And then they're going to back down to $60,000 and then have $60,000 be a base and do all that boring consolidation stuff. That scenario doesn't sound too bad. But my base case is we're going to break out, unquote. The trader says he's not convinced that Bitcoin will see a sustained uptrend after its initial breakout. All right, yeah, I mean, I can respect that. You don't have to be convinced of that. I believe that it says after its initial uptrend. Oh, yeah. So I can respect that. Yeah. Quote, I think there's a good chance that the breakout doesn't really stick now. Okay, we're going to stop there because I want to squeeze in a little bit of gold news. Oh, man, I went over my time, folks. Went over my time. Should I leave the gold news out today? I'll just read the headline. Gold price outlook. Gold stalls a bit in the early part of Wednesday. The gold market has been strong for some time now, but the Wednesday session is suggesting that we are a little overdone at this point in time. The market continued. They suppressed a lot of news that would make gold skyrocket. Like they didn't really widely publicize that bank going down. That could have sparked something in people for, to buy a little bit more gold, protect their value. They're not widely talking about these articles coming out about the more banks being susceptible to bank runs, right? They're not widely publicizing that. That could spark people to buy a little bit more gold, pull their money out the banks, protect their value. They're not doing that. They're suppressing a lot of positive catalysts for gold. I'm watching it real time. So I'm just putting that out there. But long-term gold is very, very bullish. None of the positive catalysts have left. I'll just leave it at that. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.